Let me tell you something right now. There is no doubt in my mind, and Klinger, you're over there. No doubt in my mind that at some point we are going to be at a wedding reception and sitting at the same table.
Of course.
And if you see me swirling wine around in a glass like I know what the F I'm doing, that means I'm so annoyed with this conversation that I have nothing more than to just swirl it and be like, oh, whatever, okay. I'm seeing if it makes a mark. I might spill, I might not, but this looks like I know what I'm doing. Maybe I might sniff it and put it back down. That's all I could think of. That 100%. If I am sitting anywhere and there's wine and I take that glass and move it around a little bit, I hate the conversation automatically.
Parallel to that would be with a beer bottle, taking the label off.
I thought that was sexually frustrated.
What up, Challenge fans? We are Final Alliance Podcast. We just finished watching episode 9 of the Challenge USA titled Nevertheless She Persisted. Or I suppose we could say they're trying to block me.
Yeah, that would be a good...
they're trying to block me.
They're trying to block me. That was said...
50? Ballpark figure?
As far as the edit goes, maybe that. But the title of this one... Listen, we're going to break this one down soon. The title immediately made my ears raise where I'm like, huh? I understand that they kind of do things with like American history because this is the Challenge USA.
Right.
But I couldn't feel more vindicated as of last podcast into this one with this title. And anytime when we get closer to Sarah, we will break this down. Why this title made me laugh really, really hard. And I did not tell you as we're watching the show because I want to tell you on the air. So.
And as you guys know, we watch it together and then we just pretty much right away come film the pod, record the pod. So here we are, right, straight out of, watching it to recap.
I will say this. There was a lot going on in this episode.
Oh my gosh.
And usually I can watch the show, have in my head what I think to say during each scene. I know you write things down, but kind of be like, okay, filler. I think I have this to say, rebuttal. I have so much from this episode that even as I sat down, I was like, this is like going to be when you recap it because you write everything down, you do a great job. This is like going to be like watching all over again because I'm going to have to be like all of a sudden.
Right.
Usually in my head, I'm like, yes, I know exactly what to say here. I know what I want to say, what my point to get across. And I guess I've already alluded to one thing, the title, but the rest of it, I sat down, I'm like, oh my, like, I don't know how to unpack Danny, how to unpack Sarah, how to unpack Desi. I know who lost the episode. I know who won the episode.
Right.
But it took a while to get there. So there's so much to talk about. So you lead the way as you always do. You do a great job and I'll just try to help and fill in the blanks as we go along.
Well, thank you for those 2 compliments. That was very nice. What I really enjoyed about this episode was it gave us the things that we were lacking in the last several episodes. We had so much drama. We had nights out. We had a really freaking good daily.
Yeah.
We had a decent elimination, but all the drama, all the trying to figure out who was going to go in, it was good. It was just delicious. It was amazing. We start with a boat day.
Yeah. We don't
I
get
was
these
so
at all.
excited.
Yeah.
I was so excited. So it's a day off. They're all on a boat. We've got Cachet, Desi, Justine dancing on the boat. Cachet is like, I don't know what it is about being on a boat, but I just love it. And we've been through this. I just love her. I find her so charming. I find her so charming. She's so cute. They say that they're the Fab Five. So it is Cachet, Kayla, Justine, Desi. All of that makes sense. And Sarah.
Yeah.
That's strange to me. But then I guess, Desi is Survivor. So maybe because Desi is Survivor,
she pulls Sarah along because we've said this before, common enemies make great allies. Desi has said throughout this episode, I don't talk game with Angela and I don't talk game with Alyssa, so bring Sarah along. And sometimes in that group of friends of 5, 3, or whatever else, you might have one that's outspoken that you're just kind of like, you tolerate. Okay?
Right.
Doesn't mean that you're friends with them, doesn't mean that you get along with them, it just means you tolerate them. And Sarah talks a lot, and they're just kind of like, yeah, we're the Fab Five. And we'll see where it all works out, I guess.
Angela is like, I'm aware of this Fab Five. She's talking to Alyssa, says Sarah is all bark, no bite.
How can you not be though? That's the thing that's annoying. Like the boat isn't that big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, legitimately, there's maybe this table times 2 separation between the Fab Five and the other ones. And like, here's the Fab Five and they're toasting. Like everyone can hear it.
Right.
Just because she gets the confessional or the one-on-one. And I know I always say that, but just because she points it out, like anybody could have been like,
right.
Hey, what were the girls doing over there? And all the guys would be like, oh, there's a Fab Five alliance because they kept cheers in it.
Right.
But they chose that because it has to be. Like, she's like, I'm aware of it. Like, no kidding. But the thing is, I'm happy they're on a boat.
It connects
I
the dots.
love that Cash was like, when I'm on the boat, I like to be out. Everyone likes to be on the boat.
Right.
But it leads to everything else where I'm like, and they did a good swerve in this, by the way. I'll give the editors this, but I have to say it every time for those new and everyone else. Follow what they're doing at the very beginning. They will take you there. Cash, and I looked at you right after because then they talked to Sarah. I'm like, one of these two. And then they kind of go away from Cash. So good for them for the swerve, and we'll get to that more.
And I was like, no way. They're not putting Cash in. No.
Yeah. And then I started thinking more about the title, more Sarah. And I was like, and I looked at you and I'm like, hey, Sarah's going in. And you're like, do you think she's going to win it? I'm like, I don't think she's going to win. I think she's just going in. That's all I could come up with. And that was before the challenge. I was kind of
thinking it was referring to Angela at that point. Like Angela would win the elimination.
Okay, now do you want me to tell you how I know for a fact that she was going in?
Yes.
Okay. During a podcast last week, and during a certain situation on Twitter that I wrote, here is when Sarah did not like it when I used the Rosie the Riveter comment about Sarah. Because remember, you said like, hey, and she's like, oh, I can go against men. I'm like, okay, Rosie the Riveter. Now.
And I gave a look because I didn't love that comment.
No, you didn't. It's okay. There's still a history major me, and I know it's been 20 years since I was in college. And never
20?
Yeah, 20 plus. Yeah, 20 plus. Sorry. Yeah. Nevertheless, she persisted. I'm like, I know that. Let me Google it right now. Now let me hit images.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the number one image that came
up? Oh my God, was it Rosie the Riveter?
Absolutely.
Stop.
Absolutely.
So
go ahead and
called
Google
it.
Yeah, nevertheless, she persisted. Google it, and then you'd be like, okay, and the number one image that comes up is Rosie the Riveter. And I was like, I know it. And that's when I was like, holy crap.
So you called your shot. You Babe Ruthed it.
Like, yeah, I called her Rosie the Riveter and Jess, and I got a reaction out of you, and I made fun of it on Twitter, like, she gets upset. And I like that between you and I. I'm not.
Of course.
I'm not sexist or anything like that.
But you're absolutely a feminist. I love that about you.
But then I was just like, I can't believe this. And then that's when I was like, and you're like, oh, you think the chance, when I'm like, she's in. I mean, and you're like, oh, she's going to win. I'm like, no, I think she's going in, and I think she's going to win because the title just too much. Right. And I couldn't believe it. So that's, go back to last episode. You guys can see it. Yeah. And Sarah was all about like, yes, I do believe men and female men. And she's right.
Absolutely.
But I was bringing the comedy angle of it. Comedy, if you find it funny, I don't care, or whatever else. I was just being like, oh, Rosie the Riveter. But then this, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And so
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the story I wanted to share with you. Yeah. So anyway.
Ben's all I trust Sarah. Sarah trusts Ben, but Sarah knows that Ben has been kind of attached to Angela's hip. She's hip to it. Something's going on.
She says what? He's making a dirty bed and he's going to have to lie in it? I think that's what she said.
I don't even know. She talks a lot. She talks a lot.
Oh, boy.
Angela and Alyssa are with the Survivor guys. They're referring to Angela, Desi, and I think just maybe Justine, maybe Cachet. They're all talking. And they're like, Angela doesn't need the money. She's wears real diamonds. Like, she doesn't need this money.
Yeah, but I don't think that makes a difference. There's a competitive streak in her that she wants to do it. I mean, Desi threw it in there when,
I would probably.
God was making her sprinkle here, sprinkle there, athlete, competitor,
put it all together.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he just dumped it all in or whatever else. And sometimes, she did forget to throw in, listen, that she's attractive.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful.
You shouldn't throw that in, but I mean,
so is Desi, so is Justine.
So is Desi, so is Justine. Don't get me wrong.
Women.
Yeah, Desi.
Cachet.
Desi looked great this entire episode.
Oh my God,
I mean,
gorgeous. That woman
from beginning minute to end credits looked gorgeous the entire time.
Also, doesn't Justine give you like old school Lauryn Hill vibes, and I mean it in the best possible way.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely,
Right?
yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, but
Beautiful,
I mean,
sparkly.
Desi just woo.
I know.
It was
I know.
great. But that being said, like, yeah, they were talking about Angela, and you can't ever speculate who doesn't need or whatever else. And that's the same thing if the guys were like, Tyson doesn't need it, because Tyson already said, I want to be the richest one ever, and go further if you want to. But
so Tyson's like, who has
he
the
didn't
most
like
money?
Enzo had the most
Enzo
money. He
has
likes
the
to be
most
the
money.
richest person in the room. That's why he eats at cheap restaurants.
Right. Which could be nominated for
So
best
I have a
line.
big problem. He liked it. I have a problem with Tyson this episode. I really,
We didn't really
do.
see much of him, which has been very unique to the season.
Of course not, because he didn't win.
Right. And I think he was maybe fourth.
Yeah.
Unique.
Well, yeah.
But people were working together, obviously, to help Danny, which was beautiful, and we'll get there. We've got, Danny's the only man that doesn't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a women's elimination day, so he has the opportunity to just win the challenge to get that money.
Yeah.
I mean, we both love Danny. Danny's been great. We love hearing about that beautiful Kiki McRae, his wife. And, I mean, he's been a good competitor. It just hasn't happened for him yet.
No. Listen, this is good. Do you want to let's wait till we get into the challenge and then talk about why Danny should have won and why it was a good thing that they did. I don't want to jump too far ahead here.
So the challenge is called Collect 4. They're in a stadium.
60,000
seat stadium. So that is a big
Everybody's
stadium.
blown away for this soccer stadium. You know what's bigger? Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City.
You're kidding.
77.
Oh, dang.
Yep, we're 74. Doesn't matter. I know it's over that.
Wow.
Everyone's just like, this is the biggest stadium. And I'm like,
It looked enormous.
It
looked
does.
enormous.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we see Danny, reminds me of football because, he played for the
Dallas
Cowboys.
And that seats a little bit more than Kinnick.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit more than 60,000. So you've got to race and find your colored tokens. They're scattered throughout the stadium. So you're going to have to do a heck of a lot of stairs. So this is endurance to the max. You're trying to make your Connect 4, like that game we all played as kids.
Yeah.
You have the ability to flip yours over and make it black to sabotage someone else.
Sure.
Danny says that he is blue, which he loves because his dad's nickname is Blue, and he's feeling really good. His car is blue.
Yeah.
He's just
Elvis Presley sang about blue suede shoes.
that wasn't said.
Old school, there was You're My Boy Blue. There was Blues Clues. There was Hill Street Blues. He didn't say all these. I swear he went down this list of all these blue things.
What's that country song? Blue Jean Night.
Forever in Blue Jeans by Neil Diamond.
No, but that's anyway.
Baby's Got a Blue Jeans On by Conway Twitty.
Anyway, I liked
Blue
that.
by
Baba
Leanne
Dia
Rimes.
Bada. But I don't know the status of his dad. I don't know if his dad is passed or not. So I don't want to be like sucky about it.
No, we're not
Jay.
being that at all. Don't say I'm being sucky. Don't tell people that. Yeah.
But I liked it, and that also led me to believe that, hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to be his daily.
Mm-hmm.
This is when Tyson says the line about he likes to be the richest man in the room. This is why he goes to cheap restaurants. I thought that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting, and you had me pause it.
Yes.
So a normal Connect 4 aboard. I don't really know how many it has. I think it's 8, maybe.
I think it'll go 8 up and 10 across. So 10 rows of 8. Yeah. 10 columns of 8.
And this is 6 columns, 5 rows.
Yes. So this is where it gets interesting because you can block somebody enough that they can no longer make a move.
Right.
And you have the Fab Five versus Alyssa and Angela. Okay.
Yes.
So the whole thing is about who's going to do whatever else. And we'll get into that. Now, the real thing is this. It takes 15 times. I figured this out because I was like, okay, this and that would do whatever. It takes 15 blocks the right way to make no way that they can do they could do they could do four. It would go 2 in the first column, 3, 2, 3, 2.
Okay.
That's it. You have to do it 15 times.
Wow.
Now, in between, is someone going to get you? And if they're going to place theirs, they can. Even if they were trying to place yours, if they figure out you're doing 2, 3, 2, it stops them.
Right.
Okay, so that's what it is. They don't get me wrong. I had you pause it. I'm watching it. I'm trying to look at it. I have a little bit longer than in my brain than just honk and go running. You know what I'm saying? But that's really what it's 15. But to just knock somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
Angela and Alyssa are like, we're gonna knock Sarah out, and
Right.
this is where it just gets way too much, honestly, on Sarah.
Oh wow! So Sarah sees that Angela and Alyssa are blocking her, and this is when she goes to literally everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like multiple times. I'm gonna blame the edit on that, but literally everyone saying they're trying to block me. You know, help me.
Black Angel.
Yeah.
Alyssa and her working together to block me. Black Angel.
I mean, you see her going to Danny. You see her going to
Dom,
Justine,
Ben.
Dom,
Keep going.
Ben.
Yeah. Everyone but Tyson. How's that?
Basically everybody.
And then right in front of Angela, like, oh, they're doing that. And Angela's like staring at her as she runs by. It was bad. Just.
And Enzo was hilarious. Enzo was so funny. My like for him increased by like 5 points.
Yeah, because he was like, yeah,
he's like, I got you. And he's like, but I put it on my board. I'm not trying to get involved.
Yeah, I don't want to get in that mess. Yeah.
Like,
and he's right.
Yes, love you. Exactly. And I noticed that with the Fab Five, other than Kayla, the majority of them, from what I saw,
no,
they didn't want anything about that.
Justine was right there in the end. Desi was doing great.
Cachet was putting him on her own board, but not in the right order. Even. It was strange.
That was being like,
that I didn't
I'm
understand.
throwing it, but I don't want to win it, but I'm going to make it look like I'm not blocking anyone else. That was really bad on her part because she really was. And by the way, if we do the board, and I wish I had a visual to show you guys, but yeah, she was one row. Let's just say she's row 3 or column 3, row 3. We'll just do it. And she's up second down. She would be the next one over would be row 1, 4 down.
Right.
And then like row 5 or 6, like over here, they were not even close.
No, and it's like you had 3, like you could have, and nobody had blocked you.
Don't give me in like Desi had it straight. Jasmine had it straight. Tyson did not have it straight at all. No. I don't know what he was doing. So the Sarah over and over again
was exhausting.
Way too much. Asking for too much help out of anybody else and just being like, look what they're doing. You're not strong enough. You don't have strong enough allies.
It just appeared to me there were 2 things she could have done. One, you're wasting your energy at this point by screaming and complaining like to everybody. Like it looked like she was not running and trying to get her chips or pieces, and she was instead finding people to be like, help me out.
They're not helping her out.
And what I said to you when we were watching it, 2, see the writing on the wall and take this opportunity to rest because you know you're going in.
I think she did. I think they might have cut that out because TJ doesn't like quitters. They don't want to see like someone that found a loophole in it.
But at that point, yeah, like,
because if
I'm going in, why am I going to do 150 more stairs when I know I'm going to probably go into an elimination?
Yeah, but I think maybe she kind of did. I don't want to give her too much credit, but I think maybe just kind of like the writing's on the wall. I can't do it. Maybe I can get people to help me, this and that. But it was just over the top how much she's asking for people. And for her to sit there and be like, well, the Fab Five don't understand it. Well, there was
Kayla was all on board. Kayla was when we're standing there, she's like, I'm
trying to make an eye contact with the Fab Five and no one's making eye contact. I'm like, yeah, because the Fab Five, the other ones want to win. Except for Cash. She's completely throwing this, just being like, don't throw me in. And
she's like, I'm not trying to start any drama, but I'm not trying to win at the same time.
Daz and Jasmine definitely are trying to win.
Yeah.
Now on the guy's side,
this was really freaking cool. I loved this because Danny is the only man that didn't have any money, or it didn't have enough money to go to the final. And it wasn't a men's elimination day.
Yep.
So it would do no harm to anybody to help out Danny, who has been a stand-up man in the situation. From what I've seen, kind to everybody. Yeah, throw him a freaking bone.
Yeah. So Dom decides to help out Danny, and David sees this, and he's like, they see that I'm trucking along, and Dom's going to block me, or whatever else, and he said something along the way when they're jogging. He's like, you're blocking me, and Dom just he's not focused on what David's saying. And I get what David's point is, but now they're all qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Let's figure it out from there. David should not take that personal. Everybody should rejoice in this win. The only person, and I know there's going to be a situation where like Tyson's like, well, I'm not happy I didn't win. Enzo's got more money. On top of it, Tyson, you are a self-appointed endurance champion.
Yeah,
that is what you're.
I don't think he wanted it.
You think he wanted fourth? You think Tyson?
No, he didn't want fourth. He didn't want fourth.
Okay, but you think Tyson? Listen, no one blocked him. No one blocked Danny. No one blocked. I think who got second. No, David. I think got second. He was blocked.
I think David, was blocked.
Now third wasn't blocked either. Tyson got fourth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but Tyson started off with one corner blank, then two, and left two open. You leave three in a row. That way, if someone blocks you, you have another one.
Oh,
that was
good strategy.
That was terrible. I don't know what he was thinking. He threw one in the corner right away.
Oh yeah, the corner.
Yeah,
the
corner,
first spot in the
blank.
No, you start in the middle.
Blank, corner, blank, two in a row, then two off. Made no sense at all.
So he didn't want either. He didn't want to win either.
Don't give him credit that he didn't want to. He's an endurance athlete. He has gone on podcasts. He's like, this is what I do. I got paid to do. I'm endurance. I want to win everything.
Right.
You can't sit there and say he has more money than me and I'm upset. And then sit there and be like, I just tossed it because it wasn't a men's elimination. You're not saying
I don't think he would ever say, I don't know. Well, I don't think he'd ever say that he...
Then don't give me one where you're like, I have so much pride and I'm going to win and I'm better than 80% of anyone that's ever been on challenges on the flagship. Then you're going to take one off. Then say it. Then say, I took it off. Yeah, I did. Look what I did. One off, two there. I made it hard on myself. If they blocked me, I would have been in serious trouble. It's like, not a big deal. I didn't need to do it. I'm not making money for anyone.
Challenge Grace have I don't want to
throw somebody in and get any more blood on my hands. I've already been cocky enough. Then give me what I want to hear.
Touche.
Give me that. That's all. Other than that, it makes me look like you did not beat him and you're not the endurance athlete you want. And on top of it, I don't care who retweeted it. He's a pickleball player now because that's not endurance.
He's not a pickleball player now. He's been a pickleball player for a while.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
The endurance athlete turned into a pickleball player?
He still does other things.
Okay.
Pickleball is fun and great, and it is the fastest growing sport in the country, and you love it, and I love it.
Don't use my own words against me. I'm the one that says that.
Why are you hating?
I'm saying I was tagged in Twitter, but like, I'd like to see him play against whatever, and they're like, look at Tyson Albatross. He plays pickleball. It's like, there's an endurance guy. Now he just wants to dink and dunk with the 7-year-olds. I don't know. I'll play him pickleball. He'll beat me. He's got a big wingspan. But I'm just saying. He's a big endurance athlete that gets fourth.
I got nothing.
He's a big endurance athlete that got fourth in this endurance thing, which, by the way,
it was shocking. It was shocking. He has not finished this.
Love this challenge. I want everything to do with this. I want to be part of this challenge. I want to be everything. I want to be above, looking down and be like, am I blocking anyone? Who's blocking me? Trying to figure out where the numbers are.
Working with your people.
Right away, the columns, everything else. My brain was going. Not like it's a beautiful mind thing, but I was like, I like all this. I want to run around those stairs. I want to be in this stadium. I love this challenge.
Oh my God. A stadium like that in the morning.
Yeah.
I love mornings, but specifically like places like that, like quiet in the morning like that. It's like a cathedral. Like, beautiful. Like, now, one thing I didn't see that I thought that we would see was people saying like, hey, I got a blue.
Oh, to kind of tell them where.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, Danny, there's blue.
Blue's over here.
You know?
Yeah, I got you.
I was surprised that we didn't see that.
I would like to know like how many exits they could go up to, or if it was just 1, 2, 3, or 4. Because here's where I would lose. All right, I'd be running and I'd go out this way, and let's just say it's the northeast zone over here that you can go up, and then Sarah's talking to people, and then like, oh, I'm running.
Not doing that.
I'm going completely to southwest over to this side because I'm not hearing her anymore. And
there's like nothing on those chairs.
They're like, oh, what? TJ, where is everything? You said I was going to meet all 60,000 seats.
And you're like, he's like, worth it.
Yeah. And he's like, what are you doing? You quitting? I'm like, no, I just can't.
I'm quitting that. You know what? Okay, I was thinking about this earlier when I was recurling my hair because of the humidity. Sarah saying they're trying to block me is a less charming version of are you bitches conspiring against me?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because when that was on Big Brother, that was so charming and adorable, and I loved her.
Yeah, she would walk in a room and just be like, "Yeah,
are you bitches conspiring against me?" Loved it. This is like not. No. This is the opposite of that, but it's parallel, and it reminded me of that. Our boy Danny wins.
He does.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy he won, and he had to give a shout out to his wife Kiki.
You sure
beautiful
did.
Kiki McCrae.
Which means we have to give a shout out to Susie Q.
Hi Sue. And he said he's gonna Kiki's gonna shed so many tears because she's a fan of TJ, and TJ is like speaking directly to him. It's like big moment. Awesome.
Speaking of TJ and Susie Q tagged TJ in a tweet that involved us, and TJ retweeted with a ha 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 ha.
It's awesome. TJ retweeted us.
When he wrote it, I heard it in his laugh, so which means so much more to me.
Right. Oh, for sure. For sure. I heard it that way too.
So, yeah.
Then for the females, Desi wins.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Desi's great. Last place was Sarah.
Yeah. And that
dun.
All the props in the world to Angela standing there in that stadium looking down on that board and going, that's the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going back down, and then you see Cash after her going, yeah, it's over. Like she saw the spot too. She's like, oh, damn. But I mean, good for her by just taking a deep breath. She's like, all right, I just got to run down these stairs or whatever else and get there. And she's like, that's the spot. And I was like, yep. I like everything that was going on there.
Angela's the type of athlete that is just so, like, nothing appears to faze her.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's a really good one.
I've had teammates like that are just incredible. But I'm not that person.
Cerebral is what we like to call them.
I am not that person. And it's interesting and fun to watch. I'm like, wow, that composure. I'm
glad you said that, because cerebral is a thing, and I like that because it's like they're thinking the entire time, and you just like they've got a plan in their head. They may not be able to tell their coach or their teammates or whatever else, but something's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the other hand, you have someone like Sarah, who is trying to regroup the troops for some reason, troops that she doesn't really have, and or will speak out of turn or do whatever else. And that's actually the type of person I don't really care for more. I don't care for the person that says, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I've said this before, and and another time we talked about challenges, I think it was in the All-Stars, that someone said, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I am a strong believer that the person who says, I wear my heart on my sleeve is a person just giving an excuse like, I'm truly an asshole. And they use it as an excuse. Like, I just wear my heart on my sleeve. Like, no, you don't. You don't. You're just kind of a butthole. It's like, sorry if this offends you, but like, oh, it already did.
In regards to Sarah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Heart on my sleeve, that's different. I think
no offense, Sarah, but see, right away you were like, whoa, what? See, it doesn't matter.
Same name, it sucks.
Yeah, but no, right away you were like, wait, what are you going to say?
Put
you on pause.
You know this, I'm sensitive. I always have been. And I hid it for a very long period of time and would hold everything back. But I am a sensitive person. I have embraced it in my adulthood. And I think that it's okay for me to do that. So in regards to that, people like Angela that are able to be very composed and stuff, that's wonderful. And I'm not saying like I'm going to be like a crybaby or like making a mess of things. But like if I'm feeling something, I'm going to express it.
Sure.
So there's different levels to it.
I think there's definitely different levels. I think you would have relationships in the house with other people where Angela's like, she just made one with Alyssa like 2 episodes ago. And now Alyssa's like, I've never felt closer to anyone like Alyssa, calm down. And she says more later on where I'm like.
In her defense, I have seen from people on social media that like Angela is actually like extremely warm. It just takes a while for her to warm up.
Okay.
But anyway, so in regards to the
I put my guard up and I don't let it down very often for
sometimes people have experiences in life that make them that way. That's fine. Whatever. I'm not that person. I'm like, hey, here's me
supporting everybody in the show. You're so good about it.
I'm that person.
This is great.
But yeah, there's different levels to hearts on their sleeve. Some people use it as an excuse to just be a jerk.
Well, we can talk off the air about different levels because I really don't believe there's different levels. I think that it's just an excuse to be like, that's just the way I am. And if I say things that offend
by the way, I've never said that as an excuse for any of my behavior.
No, you haven't.
No. I'm just saying, like, on your side of that.
Yeah.
Like me being like, I'm a sensitive person. I've also never used that as an excuse for any of my behavior ever.
Yeah. Because I can describe my behavior outside of just using this blanket statement that I'm a butthole. So,
right.
Yeah. When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong, right? You know that.
Aw, it's from Dirty Dancing.
It is, sure is.
We love that movie.
Yeah.
So Sarah is all in that, she thinks Desi has her back. Danny's like, oh no. In his interview, he's like, takes two to tango. I don't want to do this. I don't want to, because Sarah wants Angela.
Yeah.
Which I think is the stupidest decision of all time. Mm-hmm. And here's why. Angela has proven to be a very strong competitor. Mm-hmm. You want to go to the final. Why would you want to go against the strongest competitor? Everything from challenge ever is if you want to get out of an elimination, you go against a weaker competitor.
Mm-hmm.
And, secondly, I forgot my second.
Well, I can help you out here. Like, it's a pride thing. It's an ego. She already said.
Okay.
I remember. There you go.
There are some people that are on these shows that are about making good television.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like, this isn't probably going to go well for me, but I'm going to make a really good episode. This is going to get me a callback. This is going to get me some, things to sell on my Instagram. I'm going to do it. It's going to suck. I'm going to lose, whatever. Right?
Love where your head's at.
That is not her, though.
No, it is not. She is not thinking, I'm going to be partners with her in Rivals 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever down the road. She's not thinking.
She's just like, I'm mad at her and I'm going to beat her.
Last week was, has there ever been a girl versus a guy? Again, we've been through it. Like, it's like, but it doesn't work out. The producers, everyone steps in and goes, not working out the way you think. And she's like, And so she did the same thing this week. And it was never like, if it is, this could go up there with the eliminations. And, TJ was on Mark's podcast, Mark Long's podcast last week. And they asked about like top 5 eliminations. And he went through a couple.
Right.
And she's not sitting there saying like, I want to make TJ's list.
Right.
Top eliminations.
That's not her.
It's just like, nope, this is what I want. And you guys are going to do it.
Everything is just very short-term reactive.
Yeah. It's not well thought out. Like,
no.
Even like, listen, I didn't like Alyssa coming to her at the after party or whatever else beforehand or whatever.
That was unnecessary. Yeah. I don't know why she did that.
And I don't really like her response. It's childish, but I think I laughed because I'm like, what else can you do in that situation? But then she goes and runs over to the Fab Five and talks about it. And they're just, you go ahead because I think maybe I'm going too far ahead.
We'll get there in a second. Yeah. So Danny's like, I want cachet. Like, I'm working with Angela. I'm working with Alyssa and the Survivor men. They want Angela. I don't want Angela to go in. So he makes up this lie to Desi saying, basically, Angela, Alyssa, and all the Survivor people were working together. So that means Love Island and Amazing Race. So that's
they're out.
That's Justine,
the 4 guys,
Cachet,
the 4 guys, the 2 girls from Big Brother, and the 2 girls from Survivor. So
that's right. So it's
Sarah and Desi, but we didn't tell. We never told you.
So David's out too.
David's out. But
so it's Cachet, Justine, Kayla, and David essentially that aren't in their like group. And Desi's like, why am I out of this?
Why did I not know?
Right.
And she is on the scent the entire time that this does not make any sense.
But because Danny has been a straight up guy this whole time, it's like, I have reason to believe that he's telling me the truth.
Danny. Oof.
I know, right?
Danny.
I've been telling you, he's a sleeper. I've been telling you.
Danny, you did me wrong this episode here. You turn like that. You lied to Desi.
Yeah, I lied
Survivor
to Desi.
strong. But you know what? I'll give him this. As we're watching it, I said, did he just lie to her? Guess what? Cut right to the confessional.
Admits it. He's like, I didn't want to, but I did.
I had to. Now it's time to do damage control. Welcome to the game, Danny.
Yeah, so then he's like, I'm talking to Dom. I'm saying what's up. Like, I'm getting everybody on board.
Yep.
Love it, love it, love it. That's the game. That's the challenge.
I guess now that you've got over that hump to get to the final, now you got to play the game. and he enlists
been
Dom. And Dom's like, all right, I'm in. He plays off Cash. He lies to her. Nah, not a big deal.
Realistically, he's been playing the best game. He's
Danny?
been low key.
Yeah, strike when you can.
He has befriended everybody.
And they got him in. He did not have, I mean, listen, he won that on his own. The block of David by Dom, I'm sure, is an assist, a slight assist. Other than that, he won that.
Did you see him when they started the challenge today?
No.
He was like 20 yards in front of everybody else. That man is explosive.
Yeah.
He's just, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't just get into the NBA. Someone's not just like, okay,
NFL.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. Same
Rude.
thing. Either
you don't just get into the NFL. Yeah. Like someone's just not like, okay, you get in. Like that man is an incredible athlete. And I'm so glad that we were able
into one of the top 5 of all sports. And now he's in the 5 of the 5th, the challenge. We'll say that about MTV. We have to throw this into the same umbrella.
Absolutely.
We say this is the 5th major sport. He did great. I don't think there was an assist at all by Dom or David or whatever else. He deserved to be in here. He really did. He's got a little bit. Do I think he got a little bit drunk with power? Maybe. But he's starting to play the game.
I don't think so. I think he was chill about it.
I wish Desi came a little bit stronger in her convictions.
That was a difficult position because I have basically a whole page that I could go down, and I don't know that I'm going to, about different conversations with people in regards to who's going to go in as far as female. So it's like, Desi doesn't want to go against Angela in the final. Understandable.
She said, you might as well just leave me at the starting line. Yep.
They do this party night. Alyssa goes up to Sarah and it's like, it's not personal. I like Alyssa, but that conversation was unnecessary.
It's not personal. No offense, though.
It's very
personal.
personal.
My heart on my sleeve.
It's very personal.
All those things are passive aggressive, folks. We're adults.
Then we got Dom and Desi talking. Desi's like pretty hip to like, okay, so people are working together. Danny and Alyssa, let's get Desi to trust you. Next morning, Kayla, that same night. So the Fab Five is talking.
This is one of the greatest nonverbals you pointed out this entire season. I couldn't love this anymore when you rewind it and you're like, watch Kayla. Go on. Sorry.
Well, yeah, because you were just like going like this because Sarah was talking and you were like, you were like going like this.
I can't stand when someone's trying to tell 3 people what to do that have no control of the game. Desi, I think, might have been the conversation. No control of the game, but also is telling everybody else what you need to do. And all I can think was, then you should have won. Stop telling them what they need to do, what they have to do, what you want them to do.
And so
just go and just shut your mouth and be like, you guys pick. I've asked, but I'm willing to go up against anybody because that's a competitor I am. Instead of telling us over and over again how great you are. Sorry, but this is my favorite number.
So they're sitting at the table at the bar. Sarah's, I don't even know what she was talking about. She was
the same thing.
You know, I want to go against Angela or Alyssa or whatever.
Alyssa came up and said this to me.
Maybe Enzo, maybe Tyson. I don't know.
Alyssa's saying this, and then I was like, well,
and
cheers. And
Kayla, who had helped her in the challenge, is just like sitting back, chilling, and she's got her wine glass, and she's just kind of like moving it around, like looking away.
Yeah.
And like Cachet is right next to her. Going, everything that she's saying, just like Sarah's saying, Cachet's like, like just giving her very good conversational skills. And Kayla's like,
let me tell you something right now. There is no doubt in my mind, and Klinger, you're over there. No doubt in my mind that at some point we are going to be at a wedding reception and sitting at the same table.
Of course.
And if you see me swirling wine around in a glass like I know what the F I'm doing, that means I'm so annoyed with this conversation that I have nothing more than to just swirl it and be like, oh, whatever. Okay. I'm seeing if it makes mark. I might spill. I might not. But this looks like I know what I'm doing. Maybe I might sniff it and put it back down. That is all I could think of. That 100%. If I am sitting anywhere and there's wine and I take that glass and move it around a little bit, I hate the conversation automatically.
Parallel to that would be with a beer bottle taking the label off.
I thought that was sexually frustrated.
No, is that a thing?
Yeah, I like
with
her
the beer labels.
Yeah, like
I feel like that's adjacent.
No, it's definitely adjacent. Yeah, just like okay.
Oh God, but that body,
look at
body
that.
language was like. Kayla was like,
when you pointed out, that's
so
all I could think of.
exhausted by
Like,
it.
yes, I could.
And she's such a courteous and kind person, but she had
morphed
had
into her body
enough.
about how much I'm like, I would have been doing the same thing. Like, oh, I'm just going to swirl this and make it seem like I really like this Cabernet. How's Cabernet?
She just, God bless her. Love that woman.
Yeah.
Go into the arena.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skipping ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to skip ahead. I'm going to say that Sarah goes up to Desi and Danny when they're working out, and she's like, give me a list.
Yeah, because she already knew, because Desi came in and said, it's not going to be Angela. She's like, So then she beeps herself up to tell them what to do.
And as this was all happening, like the last half hour, I'm like, Alyssa, for the love of God, Alyssa.
Yeah, if you're going to pick between the two, it's Alyssa. And then she's like, all right, I'm going to go tell him what I want. And because she's already been told, you're not getting this.
Right.
It's such a waste of time because now you're again like, okay, now listen, I'll beat her ass and send her home. Like, yeah, okay. But now at this point, we think there's going to be a split between the two of them.
Right, because Danny's like, I'm not doing Alyssa. I'm not doing it. So then I'm going back to past seasons of the challenge where if you can't make a decision, the winners have to go in.
Yeah.
But because it's a women's elimination, that would mean Desi would have to go in.
That's what we thought because we said, here's the four options. The entire cast gets to vote who goes in if they can't come up with a decision. The men get a vote. The men only get a vote. Women only get a vote. Or TJ goes, if you guys can't come up with it, it's like, King Solomon. You need to make a decision. It's either going to be what Des wants or she's going in.
Right.
And Danny, you got to make a decision. And I was so ready for this. I was so ready for this.
And we had different thoughts on this if that were to come. I'm like, Danny's going to stand firm. Desi's going to falter, essentially.
No way. Danny would have definitely said, all right, I'm going to go with Desi. Because he, in his head, is like, Kiki would have been like, nope, that she's Survivor strong.
And once you said that, I was like, yeah, you're actually right. I
didn't want Desi to go in because I didn't want her to change out of that outfit because, again,
God,
beautiful.
So beautiful.
You were great. Oh, great. You were awesome.
I have a crush on you, too.
Congratulations. Oh, I'm right there. Yeah. So, but Desi, you didn't win this episode because you gave in to Danny's wishes. I'm sorry.
But you look beautiful.
You were going to. You had it up until that point, Desi. And yes, you look gorgeous and continue to look gorgeous. Going, God, and you're cut. Oh,
I know, right?
I know.
Those arms, though.
Quads, everything.
We even saw like her from behind, and I was like, I even stopped and I looked at you and I go, look at her hamstrings. Like it's everywhere. This woman, I cannot. She's so gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I
don't feel good.
And poise.
I have butterflies in my stomach now.
And poise and smart. Like she's got it all. She's got it all.
Just don't give in to Danny.
So anyway, it would appear that she did. It was easier for her game because the numbers for later. It makes sense. So they vote in cachet.
Yeah, but do you realize how bad it makes the Fab Five look when Angela and Alyssa are making fun of it, being like, the Fab Five can't even beat the two of us. Looks like Fab Two can't lose, blah, blah, blah. It looks like that Fab Five, that whole toasting thing is ridiculous.
Here's the thing about the Fab Five. Okay.
It's ridiculous.
You have two Survivor people, then Amazing Race, and two Love Island.
Yeah.
I don't think Sarah and Desi were on like same seasons.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think at all.
These people all just met.
Okay, now don't get mad at me, but traditionally, like as far as alliances go,
this alliance we just heard about today.
I know, but as far as alliances go, and just in Big Brother is one I can go with the most. All female alliances usually don't work. They don't. So, case in point, yeah, one episode it's in and out. Not in a bad or good way or whatever else. I'm just saying that's the way it is. But yeah, but Desi just goes her own way. She's not Survivor strong with her or whatever else, but
it makes more sense at this point.
But Alyssa
for her.
and Angela never talked game with her, and she still gave in. I don't want to say give in because I don't want to take away what the edit is and what her real decision why. But she didn't stick to I want to be with Cash. I like Cash. But in the end, she throws in Cash.
Right. It's tough.
Great elimination, by the way. Another one.
This was an interesting elimination.
Love this elimination.
So it was called In a Roll.
Mm-hmm.
They have basically like a hamster wheel, 300 feet of rope, and they have to get on that hamster wheel and spin it the fastest. And they have to do it twice where they make the ball fall.
Yeah.
There's a ball on it.
And it moves over to like your slab of cement where the 300 feet of the rope was on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sarah's all, I'm a marathon runner. Cache is very quick. Cache has the cutest line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nominating this for line of the night. She said, I was worried it was a hall brawl. If it was, I was going to fake an injury and get out of here.
Yeah.
Which, raise your hand if it was a hall brawl, if you would fake an injury to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I'm out. I'm good. I've got enough. Yeah, I've got enough surgeries in me and enough pains and aches when I wake up that I'm good.
I played softball, man. That's like no contact. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm too old. I'm too old for that stuff. So the elimination starts and Sarah's going. She's talking about running with a stroller, arms on it.
More about her.
They asked her, like in that situation, come on, they asked her that question. Like come on. It's from her perspective. And Cache's wheel isn't going. It's just not. And she's struggling. And you can see her just like reaching different places. She finally gets it to go.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah wins the first one. And then they go into the second one.
They switch sides.
Oh, and they switch sides. Ooh.
I did like that they weren't facing each other, by the way.
Yes.
I like that a lot. And they did switch sides.
Yes. That does make it more fair. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah. That's good. That's a good catch because I didn't catch that. Then Cache looks like she's getting it.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, pretty fast the second time. But unfortunately, no.
Do you think it's because
Sarah gets it?
Cache is like jar of pickles, like she loosened the other one for Sarah. That's why Sarah
she got it really loose.
Yeah, if Sarah would have started on the other side, she would have had trouble too, like Cache.
She's like, oh, you got it loose for me.
I don't believe that at all. By the way, Cache, TJ gives you a nice send-off, and rightfully so. And she was a gracious loser.
Yeah.
She said that she didn't want to come in being so much like, what's the ex's?
Just about her breakup with
Cinco. And she wanted to leave a better person she had. And Cache,
beautiful.
Let me tell you something.
Classy lady.
Desi, you had it up until Cache came in and just stole it from you to win this episode.
You think Cache won?
Absolutely. From the boat to the everything else to the quote. You said quote a night.
I think
Cache won this episode. And it was all Desi. It was seriously all Desi up until she just was like, this is not really anything more than gameplay. It's going to be Cache. And I'm like, God, I really want to see this. I want to see a strong move. And it really, nothing against Desi. It was her graceful exit.
Yes.
And everything in between that I was like, she wins this episode. No doubt about it.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay.
But I do want to spend another moment on Cache. Cache has told incredible stories this show.
Mm-hmm.
She has been a beautiful light. She has been fun. I've just enjoyed watching her to the point where now, like, I follow her on social media. I enjoy her.
Mm-hmm.
She is so charming. She is so sweet. I want to see her on more. Like, I'm all in. Cache, all you boo, love you. I am going to give the win, though, to Danny.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Danny, he persuaded the votes for the elimination. He won the challenge. We've been rooting for him. I'm all in on Danny. Danny won this episode.
Okay.
Love me some Danny. Love me some Kiki even more.
That's an interesting pick. As far as that would go, yeah, all right. So he did a bit of a heel turn, but you're okay with it. He did it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. I'm not going to disagree with you on it, but I'm still going to stick with Cashier. Great. So I can tell you right now, Sarah lost the episode over and over again.
Yeah, that was really. That's 2 episodes in a row. She lost. Maybe 3. Maybe 3. I don't know. I think she's a decent human being. Probably, maybe.
Sure,
I don't know.
Saying that, but I mean,
but so in education, like we do like 3 positives per like negative thing that we say. So that's why like I always like do that because it's like just what I'm used to doing like at work. Okay. So that's why. So yeah, like I think she's a decent human being. She's clearly somewhat athletic, but whatever the heck that was today, it was not good. It made me uncomfortable and for multiple levels. Like one, her belligerence to wanting to go against the hardest, like the most difficult competitor, likely the best female competitor, maybe, I don't know, but from what we've seen, in an elimination, that doesn't make any sense. Her yelling at everybody while they're trying to complete the challenge to help her out.
But can I interject one thing about when Danny and him and saying that throwing in Cachet and he says, "You're welcome, Sarah," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You're still here. There is a point where Alyssa goes, "I'm glad we're not going in. My legs are shot from running up and down," and she said, "I know Angela's are too, from running up and down blocking." There. So Alyssa did say, so maybe Sarah could have knocked them out because they said
potentially.
Alyssa said it. She's speaking for Angela.
So Danny was looking out for them.
Yeah, he was. He did his job. What he said he did. But let's not say that Sarah, like, when Danny says like, you can thank me and you can send me a check or whatever else, and residual. I don't know what he's saying if she thinks she's going to win the whole thing. But that's not saying that she wouldn't have beat Alyssa. Alyssa said, "My legs are shot from running up and down to block that to block her from doing this."
She probably could have.
Yeah, maybe. It depends on what side. Maybe she couldn't have got it started either. Who knows? But yeah, we got the winners. We got the losers.
Great freaking episode. I'm so into it. Cringeworthy moment.
A lot of things Sarah did, to be honest with you. I feel like we may have brought up some things, but I do think.
She did the face. She actually showed us the weird chipmunk face after she got done talking to Alyssa.
Yeah.
Let's do it together. Ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it was like more out here.
Yeah, but then the stare, like, let's see. Well, obviously, I was closing my eyes when she was having the talk, when she was like telling them, "This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do," and I'm like, just don't do this. Stop telling people you didn't win. You have no power whatsoever. You need to get there. Like, I can't stand anything more than someone feels like I definitely have control of this game and I'm going to do this. And constantly her edits are that she's going to do this. And I get so much like, ugh, it's just so a lot of it's cringeworthy. I did not like, in an honorable mention, I did not like that Danny lied to Desi because he's been so good about his game.
Right.
But this is the first time in power, so I understand it. He's trying to protect something. But his lie was so dumb that he had to do too much work.
It wasn't so bad, though.
It was a small lie, but he had to do a small lie, but had to do a large amount of work to cover that lie. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree, but I feel like that's the type of lie
and he had to
that
get Dom involved in it.
Like, just a little bit. Like, just let's not, like, completely make the waters crazy. Let's just, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But like I said, I knew this was going to be an episode that you're going to bring stuff up, and I'm going to bring up more and more. So I feel like we've talked longer than we normally have, but I mean, I just knew it. Like, use it. Like I said, I can watch it.
It's
I'm
getting
like,
good.
I get this, but there was just so much to unpack that I was like, yes, there's going to be a lot here. So
what do you think Bananas would do?
Oh, Bananas would have thrown in Angela or Alyssa. He would want to see 2 top females go in there. And he's like, I don't care. I just want to think? I don't, unless he had an alliance with one or the other, which in that alliance, I don't think he would be part of that Survivor guys 2 Big Brother. So I think he would have been like, yeah, you want to go in. And yeah, it's going to make good honestly, you would say it's going to make good television. See these 2 go after it. So I think he would have thrown it in Angela.
I just think that in most finals, you have a portion where you're paired up with a female.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that Johnny would make that decision because, let's not get rid of our strongest female competitors.
All right, let me give you this. We've mentioned this before, and Bananas has talked about it on a podcast. Get the finals with the people that you would want to spend 48 hours. I don't think you'd want to spend with Sarah or Angela.
No.
So he wouldn't care who goes home.
Oh, I think Angela's fine.
I don't think he would. Like you said, once you have to crack that. Bananas doesn't want to crack that egg to get to like the heart and soul of her. I honestly, unless he was working there from the very beginning.
Probably chill. Like she probably is like cool. Like when the cameras aren't around.
So she's getting a bad edit. Like Big Brother gave her a bad edit, and Challenge USA gave her a bad edit.
I don't know. I don't want to write her off as being like as cold as they're showing. I don't think
it's
she
not
actually
cold. It's cerebral. She's a thinker. She's an athlete. She's a competitor.
But it appears cold.
Of course, it is fine that it can come that way. But if you don't open yourself up to game talk, then it's not cold. It's like, fine, we don't need to talk about it. We're just not on the same page, same book, same library. Moving on. And I don't think that would work out that way unless she flat out said, here's X, Y, and Z to Johnny, and Johnny would be like, I got you. No more need to be said. Mm-hmm. So I just think if he was in Danny's shoes, without that much outside of an alliance that was made between Tyson and her, that was explained to other people to protect Alyssa when she said, I don't have anyone else. Alyssa kind of seems like a good person now to work with.
Right.
That was out of convenience. If Bananas doesn't make that, if Bananas isn't in Tyson's shoes, and he's Danny, he's throwing her in because he didn't create that alliance.
Right.
Bananas isn't being told what the alliance is.
But likely Sarah's gonna lose and Angela's gonna come back. You don't want that smoke.
He doesn't care. One of the two went home that he doesn't want to hang out with.
True.
And during that 24-hour, 48-hour final. And who knows? Alyssa said their legs were shot.
Yeah. Good point.
Maybe the edit also in the same way is that Sarah didn't move that much. She was running around and maybe she was saving her legs. Who knows about how the edit goes? Maybe,
Could be.
But I would love to see something like that where they were like, why are we blocking for her? Sarah's just sitting there barking orders, not moving. And Sarah's like, I didn't move anywhere because I'll save myself for the finals. I know what's going on. That stuff I'd like to see.
Right.
But I don't think they're that smart to do it.
Like the third token I saw go down, I'd be like,
this is why I'm telling you, and I know we're going.
Oh, sorry.
This is why I'm telling you, I don't care what Tyson says or anyone else or TJ says or whatever. Mark along. These people in the Challenge USA would not last in the flagship because they think that far ahead. The people that are successful are playing chess while they're playing checkers. And that would be the entire thing. Someone would be like, they're blocking me. You guys do it. And they're like, okay, why are you barking orders? Be like, because they're blocking me and we're supposed to be an alliance and they keep saying it. They're not moving. And then the confessional will be like,
I guess we're not working together.
No, it'd be like, I'm going in. They're blocking me. I know I'm not going to beat it, but I'm going to save my legs. I'm going to save everything I got. And then you're like, thank you. Because they know good television.
True. If the camera's behind you, you could be like, they're blocking me. Help me.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm fine. I need to go in. Like, to tell everyone. Like, the same thing. Like, let's go back to the Challenge All-Stars. Let's go when West, when they're doing the trivia competition. He's like, I will wink at the camera.
Right.
And let you know when I'm throwing it. And he did. Now, those are the things you need to know, us that have been watching this. And people that are listening have been watching it. No one's brand new to this. But it's like, give us what we want, CBS. Let us know what is going on behind the scenes. And if they're not, if this is the true thing, then they're not smart. And that's why I'm telling you, people like Tyson or all these brand new ones would not last that long.
Right.
Because it is a big picture to the Challenge regulars, the OGs. They see it and they're like, that's why we've always talked about it. They will ask questions for 45 minutes to an hour. Hey, TJ, can we do this? Can we eye gouge? No. Once again, no eye gouging. Oh, okay. Well, we just needed to ask. I know you needed to ask. They're going to ask all these questions. And these people are like, all right, we're going to go do it. I do think Tyson is a tremendous athlete. I'm sure Sarah is. Angela's great. I just don't think they'd last against the OGs. And that's when we're asking about what would,
I want them to be against each other.
That's what I want. Bananas do every time. I'm like this and like, no, I'm like, yeah, I think it would work because there's so many different ways they look at the game than these new people do.
Absolutely.
I know I'm on a tangent, so I apologize.
No, all good. All right. Challenge C.
Challenge
time.
tea.
I
Yeah.
have some tea this week. Happy news. Desi got engaged over the weekend.
Oh, get out of here.
Yes.
To who?
I kind of looked on her social media. I can't find the guy. She keeps things semi-private, like her actual life semi-private.
Another reason why I like her. She keeps it
right?
semi-private.
It's nice.
Just when I profess my admiration for her, then she goes and gets engaged. Okay.
So they were out, looked like vacation, water. She posted
Where?
I don't know. Posted a picture
Like Mississippi?
with the dime. No,
Oh.
like somewhere tropical and beautiful.
Oh, okay.
And then posted a picture like on Monday or Tuesday, like, and she's like, no, like this is like from being on the water, and she's like, still thinking of this, but I'm back in my scrubs today at work. You know, I think she's a physical therapist. Lot of challenged peeps were at the VMAs. VMAs were on Sunday.
Okay, can you tell me what the VMAs are?
It's the Video Music Awards. I tried to watch. I haven't tried to watch in years. I didn't last long.
When was the last time you watched the VMAs?
Like watch probably would have been
because I'm trying to figure out why this is tea relevant. But go on, yeah.
Probably would have been when Justin Timberlake and NSYNC was on, maybe 2015 ish, and then before that, maybe when Miley Cyrus was on, where they were like the she had the dancing bears with her too.
Was that was she with the Thicke guy, Robin Thicke?
Yes.
Okay.
Started out with somebody who's been sampling Fergie, and then Fergie sang, which was great. Like, love that Fergie was on it. But anyway, I didn't last long, but a lot of challenged people were there. Yes was there. Tina was there. Casey, Nani, Rachel, John A, and MJ. And I got to tell you, MJ looked really nice.
Well, they
MJ
could have
looks
thrown
hot.
in Janelle and Farrah and Macy and Amber and any other teen mom and their kids. I still wouldn't care. Listen, the VMAs used to be a must-watch event.
Oh, for sure. And we've talked about this before. $99.99. Like, I lived for that.
Yeah, from
Britney Spears
84 to
and
99. That's a good 15-year run, if not maybe more.
Even into probably like 2004, 2005.
Okay, but I mean, it was like now it's like, ugh. I shudder at it. It's not anything to do with MTV doesn't show music videos anymore. I don't care about it. It's not this. It's just not the same.
It's not the same. The sound was bad.
I bet
it was weird. I was like, oh.
I feel awful, but I mean, that's great that they were there.
But I'm so like, that's awesome. Like, I would like, even though I'm not down for it, I'd like that opportunity to go.
Oh man, I don't know. If you had free tickets to the VMAs, you'd go.
Free tickets, hotel.
Tickets. Oh, now they got to throw in a package here to get you to go.
I'm a teacher, man. Come on, get out of here.
No, you're a podcaster, man. That's TJ.
That makes
like
$0 on my podcast.
Yeah, but you've
on
been
our
retweeted
podcast
by TJ via Susie Q. Like, so you need to throw it. Like, hold on. MTV calls like, "Hey, we got free tickets VMAs." You're like, well, I'm sort of busy. Like, airline tickets. You're like, still, my plans are in pen, so they can't be erased. And they're like, hotel and accommodations. You're like, I guess I'll go MTV. That's what it is. It costs.
Realistically, okay. So this was on Sunday.
We
started school on Tuesday of last week. There's all these rules about like when you take personal days. I don't know if I'd be able to. Like, you can't take personal days off in like the first like week and a half of school. So I don't know.
Yeah, but there's still like,
if I were to take it unpaid, then yeah, and I'm gonna need a hotel.
So that's another thing you're throwing in, and you have to pay my salary for the day. And you can't talk to the principal and be like, it's the VMAs and they're flying me out for no reason.
No, my principal's amazing. He would be awesome about it. Yes. But
I can't believe VMA has to put this entire package together for you to do it. I just flat out said no, and you're like, yeah, I'd go, but it has to be X, Y. And then I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm poor.
Yeah.
Come on, get out of here.
No, yeah, if they're gonna fly you out and pay accommodations, but you're like, I'm I'm not a podcast. I'm like, I'm telling you, you should go. You're a podcast or whatever else.
Can I catch a game while I'm out there too, like some baseball? Like I'm really.
So now they got throwing tickets behind
I'm really
the
trying
dish.
to check out.
You could throw out the first pitch and take
stadiums.
BP there at Dodger
I really
Stadium.
Want to go to all the baseball stadiums.
My
so
goodness.
Can I see the Mets and the Yankees
This turned
on
into,
there?
would you go to it?
Can we go up a little bit? Like see go to Fenway. That would be really awesome.
Is it in Boston? I don't know. Where's it?
It's a quick trip from New York.
Is it in New York? Was it in Radio City Music?
It was in New York. I don't think it was at Radio City. Maybe I think it was in like Newark, New Jersey. God. I saw them all going to Newark. I don't know.
What's going on? All right, moving on with the teas. You'll go to the VMAs, but there's a Klinger. What's it called when a band has like everything?
It's a writer. I
didn't ask you. What is it called? When the called a rider. So you have a rider for MTV when they're like, "Hey, will you come to VMAs?" You're like, "Yes," but my agent Klinger, who knows the rider, you know it too. Like, here's the list of demands, and they're like, "No problem." And you have to call
that would be like a drop in the bucket for them.
And you have to call my principal. And you have to call my principal too and clear with him. They're like, "No problem. We'll send the email." Okay.
And all my students one by one. Just call their parents one by one. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like this. All I asked is like, I'm not going to be a man. She's like, I'm going. But I didn't realize
15 years ago, it wouldn't have had all those excuses.
This laundry list of things. Yes, this is great. Okay.
Well, no, I was poor 15 years ago, so it still needed to be flown out.
Love it. Anyway, I would have bent over backwards in like 96 to be at this
thing. Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Like Britney, oh my God, when she was doing all her really amazing performances.
That snake.
Mm-hmm, that was I'm a Slave for You. That was, so it was 99 was when she was with NSYNC. Oh, he's telling us to speed up.
I don't.
We'll move on.
And Calvin Brodus is on there saying, I'm innocent. Oh, that's great. Snoop Dogg just got on. Oh, so good. There's so many stories of VMAs. Anyway.
Leo did a...
Coolio?
Leo
did
an Instagram, like, ask me anything. It was later posted on Reddit. And basically, the gist of it was he was saying, like, fire Justin Booth, the producer.
Oh, that's not happening.
He was like, he didn't talk to us. He was behind the camera. There were, on different shows I was on, we were allowed to have stopwatches. We weren't allowed to have stopwatches. Things were edited wrong. He was hashtagging fire Justin Booth.
Leo.
Called him
you were never coming back.
Called him an entitled loser.
Oh, Leo. You poor thing.
He was told that there'd be no hall brawl.
Oh, Leo.
And then when he didn't say goodbye, he said the editing was fake. He was actually going to go leave by ambulance at that time. I think it was about a concussion instead of saying goodbye. And so they edited it to make it look like he was
Leo.
Yeah.
TJ and Justin are tight. Oh, Leo, you're never coming back. You and your 8 cats that you can name after everyone on this challenge list. Oh, Leo, wrong move.
Well, and here's the thing. Okay. When Darrell and Janelle were on Bananas podcast back in December, Darrell had said there's a thing about the way that they categorize the television shows, for TV. So this show is actually the challenge is categorized as reality, not a game show. So when you categorize a show as reality, you don't have to be even Steven about the rules and who finishes first and all of that.
Whereas you can, because there's a script involved. There's writers, yeah.
Whereas if it's categorized as a game show, you do. So I think that
of course.
he's coming from Amazing Race, and that's maybe categorized as a game show. No, so he's worried about the
writers too for that.
I don't know.
The Price is Right.
I don't know. I was hoping that it was something having to do with that.
He's wrong. He's just a sore loser. He's not coming back. Listen, this should be the last time we talk about Leo. Seriously. And if he comes back, then he's wrong. And let's go back to Susie Q and her tweet. And she's like, if TJ says the algorithm is perfect, the algorithm is perfect. If Justin Booth says the way it's going to be, Justin Booth's the way it says it's going to be. There's not a single person out there that is an OG or TJ or whatever else that says a bad word about Justin. So Leo, I'm sorry, you're out. You are out and you're not coming back.
All right. Bananas was on Mark's podcast.
Yeah.
I actually listened to it today just briefly. So Mark's podcast is called Reality Rundown. It is live on Spotify on Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
But then they put the recorded version on like Mondays on Spotify. So I listened to it today. A couple of takeaways I had were when Bananas was on Real World, the amount of money they got paid per week was $300.
Yeah.
That's what they got paid. And then he's like, I got off the Real World, and then I was doing bar appearances, $1,500 to $2,000
yes.
per appearance, and I was doing 20 of them in a month. He's like, so I would be like, a lot of bars like to do that under the table. I would be like in an airport with like thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on me. He says his Mount Rushmore would be CT and him, Mark. And then it was like a 3-way tie between Darrell, Derek, and Landon for 4.
Oh, Wes dirty.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
He did talk about him and Wes's friendship, and they're good and stuff. But I agree. For women, he said Laurel, Emily, and then Mark fed him Cara, and he kind of was like, okay, fine. Like, was not into it.
Okay.
And then he kind of struggled for the 4th and landed on Rachel.
Okay.
Which Rachel's been fantastic.
Yeah. I thought there might be some other ones out there or whatever.
He said Evelyn as well. Evelyn was like part of that.
Thought maybe, try to regress in some of the things he did in the past. Come up with some things. Maybe, throw in a Sarah, maybe Paula. I don't know. Maybe just to make up some
Paula
things.
did come up, but he just said, like, we've talked since things went down, but we just kind of never really came back to where we were.
I can talk about this off the air because we do have to wrap up. But Mark being on, was Mark ever even close to the Mount Rushmore before the Challenge All Stars?
No.
So TJ says he'd make it 3 different things. He would do Challenge All Stars, and then now this thing around the world to do that, whatever else. But Mark wasn't there. I'm sorry, and it's just a show thing. And again.
He's done a lot of great things for the show. Love everything he's done for the show.
Then put TJ on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Period. One more time. I'm just gonna say it. Get him on Saturday Night Live. They're doing it. TJ on Saturday Night Live.
TJ for SNL.
Yes.
Hashtag TJ for SNL.
I waste way too much time during the day that I cannot believe that. I guess this is what I got to do tomorrow. Will you text me tomorrow? Remember?
Of course.
Follow Mark Long on Twitter. Then say, hey Mark. Hey. At Mark Long, what is it? 24 16-ounce pythons, whatever else he has on there. I'm sure it's got something to do with his body. And then be like,
he's in great shape.
Can we get at TJ Lavin on at SNL this season? Do your work, real OG. Hashtag Mount Rushmore. Hashtag for real. Hashtag you look
TJ
good.
on SNL. TJ for SNL.
Hashtag Mark you look good for 55 years old.
He had a shot on his social media of him doing a backflip on the beach this week. Looked good.
Hashtag love the backflips. Hashtag keep it up. Hashtag age is just a number.
Love it, love it, love it. What else you got for me?
Nevertheless, she persevered.
Yes, she did.
She came back. Rose the River's back 2 weeks in a row. Why do you get so upset about that stuff?
Follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1. On Instagram, we are Final Alliance. On YouTube, we are Final Alliance Podcast. Please subscribe, comment, let us know how we did. Talk about this guy and his weird comments. It's cool. And on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, we are Final Alliance Podcast.
It was long. It was great. It was definitely worth it, this one. It was a good podcast.
It was.
Good. Good job by you.
Hey, thanks. You too.
Yeah.